Turning now to Decision 2016, we have live pictures for you from Cleveland. Right now, the first debate for the 7 Republican presidential candidates that didn't make the top 10 is still going on. And then in just 3 hours, the top 10 candidates will take the stage to try and distinguish themselves from each other. And frontrunner Donald Trump. Our political reporter Rick Albin talked with 2 of those top-tier candidates today. He's joining us live from Cleveland. Hi, Rick.
First, let's talk about this debate that's wrapping up inside the queue. We've heard a lot about foreign policy, about immigration, and these 7 individuals have tried to make a name for themselves, knowing they don't have the audience that those Big 10 will at 9 o'clock. And as you say, I did talk to a couple of them. But first, I want to take you inside, behind the ropes, in a view you won't see anywhere else, in this big room where we've spent all day. Think of it as about a quarter of the playing surface here where the Cavs play basketball. We've been sitting on tables and chairs there on the floor as some of the candidates occasionally would wander through. Some of them would talk, some of them wouldn't. But during that period of time, I got a couple of words out of a couple of candidates. First, we talked with presidential candidate Ben Carson. I asked him about his native Michigan roots, and then a quick encounter with Governor John Kasich. Take a listen to this. Are you the first Republican that can win Michigan since 1988?
Let me put it this way. I plan to win Michigan.
But I thought I'd just walk over here and say hi.
How you feeling about tonight?
Good. Be fun.
Governor Kasich actually walked in from a side door and was wandering around trying to find some old friends either in the media or in the party. Somehow he thought he could just walk around, wouldn't be noticed. Well, he was. There's some big crowds of media down there, and they're about to get more intense. These 10 folks that come out tonight have some very serious work to do. Donald Trump, for example, will he be more of what he has been on the campaign trail, or will he moderate? What about Jeb Bush? What about Scott Walker? Former governor and governor who at once were at the top of the heap, now are trying to regain that position. How aggressive do they get tonight? And what about Governor John Kasich? He was the last person to make the cut. Does he have to do something to push his candidacy further ahead? All things we're going to be watching tonight as we are here live in Cleveland. I'm Rick Albin, 24-Hour News 8.
All right, so Rick, before you go, I just want to pick your brain a bit. Talking about the Donald, he literally will be center stage as he's earned that seat right in the middle because of how he's doing the polls right now. Do you think when you have a response, you got 30 seconds to respond if somebody mentioned your name, so do you think people will try to steer away from ever mentioning Donald Trump's name and try to keep him out of this as much as possible, considering his history here?
Well, as you know, I'm not a political advisor, but if I were, that's precisely what I would advise them to do. Try not to engage unless you are engaged. Look, the last thing you want to do is get in a shouting match with Donald Trump. So what you need to do is talk about your vision, your idea, your plan, where you're going to go. Now, if Mr. Trump says something directly about you, you have a responsibility, indeed a right to respond. But I wouldn't be the one who goes out first, but then that's just me. I think it's going to be interesting tonight to watch these 10 and see how they do deal with Donald Trump, with a double-digit lead, by the way.
All right, it could turn very interesting very quickly. All right, Rick Albin, thank you so much, reporting live from Cleveland.